I want to tell you about the lie that kept me stuck, miserable, and sick for the first year of my recovery. And it had nothing to do with the substance. It was the belief that everyone else was healing better and faster than I was. That feeling of being left behind, it was its own special kind of sickness, an invisible poison that made me feel ashamed of my own progress and doubtful of my own journey. And the worst part was, I was the one feeding it to myself every single day. When I first got sober, I was surrounded by these incredible stories of transformation. In meetings, I'd watch people pick up chips and talk about new jobs, healed relationships, and a kind of peace that I just couldn't seem to find. Online, it was even more intense. My social media was just a highlight reel of perfect looking recoveries. It felt like everyone else had unlocked a secret to healing, and I was still stuck on the first level of the game. My inner critic was relentless. I'd see someone else share their success, and my mind would immediately go, "See, they're doing it right. What's wrong with you?" Or, "Their story is so much more powerful. No wonder why they're healing faster." This wasn't just a bad habit, it was hitting a raw nerve every single time. Each comparison confirmed the shame I was already drowning in. This deep seated belief that I was unworthy or just hopelessly behind in life, it reinforced the idea that I was uniquely broken, that recovery worked for other people, but it would never work for me. That feeling, terminal uniqueness, kept me feeling totally alone in a room full of people. All this comparing didn't motivate me. It paralyzed me. It was a total buzzkill for any flicker of hope I could find. It cranked up the volume on the anxiety that already felt like a constant hum under my skin. The lie told me I shouldn't be struggling this much, which only piled on more shame when, of course, I did struggle. The result? I started to hide. I stopped being honest about what was really going on with me because I thought my struggles were proof that I was failing. I was managing how things looked instead of actually managing my recovery. And this cycle of comparison and shame put my sobriety at serious risk. Feelings like inadequacy, envy, and hopelessness are huge triggers for relapse. And I was basically marinating in them 24/7. I was so focused on the gap between my messy reality and someone else's shiny success story that I couldn't see the real progress I was making myself. I was writing off my own small wins because they didn't seem as big or as impressive as someone else's. It was a self-sabotaging loop that kept me disconnected from my support system and, worst of all, from myself. The turning point wasn't some big dramatic movie moment. It was quiet. I was sitting there after a meeting, feeling that familiar wave of not good enough, when a phrase I'd heard a million times finally clicked into place. Don't compare your insides to someone else's outsides. And that's when it hit me. I was measuring my messy behind the scenes reality against other people's public highlight reels. I was stacking my private struggles up against their public victories. Of course, I was coming up short. The whole competition was rigged from the start because it wasn't real. You never, ever know what's really going on in someone else's head or heart. That person celebrating a year of sobriety might have been battling some serious darkness just the day before. The comparison wasn't just stealing my joy, it was painting a completely false picture of reality. That realization changed everything. I finally got it. Recovery isn't a race, it's a personal journey. You don't have to feel guilty if it's taken you longer than you would like or thought it would. We all start from different places with different wounds and different strengths. The only person I needed to compare myself to was the person I was yesterday. Am I a little bit more honest today? A little more self aware? A little kinder to myself? That became my new way of measuring success. I started practicing gratitude on purpose, shifting my focus from what I thought I was missing to what I actually had. Instead of seeing someone else's progress as proof of my failure, I started seeing it as an inspiration, as proof of what was possible. It let me be genuinely happy for their wins without feeling like it made mine any smaller. This shift didn't happen overnight, but it was the start of real, honest healing. So, the lie that kept me sick was believing my journey had to look like someone else's. But the truth is, your recovery is yours. Your path, your pace, your progress. Honoring that is one of the best things you could do for yourself. The goal isn't to catch up to anyone else, it's to reconnect with yourself. If you've ever felt this way, like you're falling behind in your own recovery, I love to hear about it in the comments. I promise you, you are not alone in this feeling. And talking about it is how we make and take its power away.